It's a tale both tantalizing and tasty, and at its center,
Go. Whoa, Chief, there's no fire here. Just flaming hot Cheetos.
some flamin' hot Cheetos.
Flamin' hot Cheetos.
Flaming hot Cheetos, anyone?
Flamin' hot Cheetos.
Woo! Damn, this is spicy.
Spicy, savory, sweet, very, very addictive.
I don't know what they put in those. It's just so good.
But you can't stop eating them. I don't know what exactly they put in them, but you just can't stop. Love them.
A lot of teenagers are being rushed to the hospital with severe stomach pain and other alarming symptoms after having too many spicy snacks.
Now doctors are alerting parents about a popular snack that could land your child in the ER.
Rapper Lil Xan claimed in an Instagram post that he was hospitalized for eating too many hot Cheetos, calling them, quote, one hell of a drug.
Doctors are seeing these cases, like every day now?
Yes, every day, and sometimes handfuls of kids. Some teachers have even gone as far to say that kids are addicted to Flamin' Hot Cheetos like a drug.
And when I looked it up, I realized very quickly that hot Cheetos might actually be the most addictive snack in the entire world.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos are probably the biggest problem that we have.
Ah yes, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. You know the name. Those cheesy, red-hot, crispy bits that defined your childhood? You used to stuff your face with Flamin' Hot Cheetos at sleepovers. Scrounged your mom's purse for quarters just so you could buy a bag from the school's vending machine. Sometimes you ate so many Flamin' Hot Cheetos that you got a little backed up. But here's the thing. This obsession with Flamin' Hot Cheetos that you've felt pretty much since grade school is all by design. That's right. Frito-Lay, the makers of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, wanted you to become addicted. It's not an accident that you had visions of dancing bags of Flamin' Hot Cheetos in your head as you drifted off to sleep. Or maybe that was just me. And there was a reason why you could eat a whole bag of Flamin' Hots without getting full, while your chicken and green beans lay cold on the dinner table. But why? Why are Flamin' Hot Cheetos basically a religion in the US? It's all about the chemicals. Those sneaky scientists at Frito-Lay concocted a recipe that literally told your brain to love Flamin' Hot Cheetos, with ingredients like MSG, a flavor enhancer that causes significant liver damage in mice, Red 40, a food dye that's banned in the UK and Europe and is known to cause aggressive behavior in children, and maltodextrin, a food additive that's been linked to asthma and Crohn's disease. Shake all this into genetically modified corn twists, and you've got a billion-dollar snack. Welcome to Evil Food Supply, and this is the dangerous truth of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. This is an inside look into just how far food companies will go to get you hooked.
Burns good or burns bad? It burns good.
Speaking of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, would you feed your dog a diet of only hot Cheetos and nothing else? Of course not. That would be dangerous and cruel. But most people don't think twice about giving kibble to their dogs. And kibble is made with the same process used to make hot Cheetos. It is called hot extrusion, and it cooks food at super high temperature and pressure, and basically destroys the nutritional value of the food. Even people who eat hot Cheetos don't eat them for nutrients. So why would you want to feed your dog an even worse version of hot Cheetos for dog food that has no standards or regulations? That's why we recommend a healthy dog food brand called Sundays. Our dogs love it, and they're today's sponsor. Sundays takes human-grade ingredients like USDA beef, chicken liver, egg yolk, fish oil, ground bone, and much more, with 90% of it being real meat and 10% being other natural foods. They air dry it to lock in nutrients and flavor, and they ship it to your door with free 3-day shipping. And then you just feed it to your dog, no prep required. So pause this video right now and click the link below with the code EvilFoodSupply to get 50% off your first order. Sundays does contain sunflower oil, a seed oil in its beef recipe, which is not ideal. If you don't want sunflower oil, then get their chicken or the turkey recipe. And it also contains mixed tocopherols in all its recipes, which is a natural form of vitamin E that acts as a preservative. The best food you can give your dog will always be fresh, organic meat. But if that's not practical for you, Sundays is the next best thing.
My fellow snackers, some of you like Cheetos brand cheese-flavored puffs baked to a delicate crunch. Others prefer Cheetos fried to a crackly crunch. But it makes no difference. With two kinds of crunch, we can now crunch all of the people, all of the time. Cheetos, cheese that goes crunch!
So, you're Charles Elmer Doolin in the mid-1930s. You're the inventor of the Frito corn chip.
Ay, 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 ay. Oh, I am the Frito Bandito. Give me Fritos corn chips and I'll be your friend. The Frito Bandito, you must not offend.
You've been making these Fritos out of your garage for a few years now, and honestly, you've got a nice little business going. Americans love your delectable crunchy chips.
Munch a bunch, a bunch, a bunch, a bunch, a bunch, a bunch, a bunch of Fritos go with lunch. Munch a bunch, a bunch, a bunch, a bunch, a bunch, a bunch, a bunch of Fritos go with lunch.
Nothing gives your old lunch new life like Fritos brand corn chips. So munchy, so full of good corn taste. Fritos makes lunch munch better.
But selling corn chips from your garage can only get you so far. You wanted more. You wanted to follow in the footsteps of all those bigwig food company owners of the industrial age. So, in order to expand, you would need something to stand out from the competition. Something exciting that America has never seen before. Something like the corn puff. In the 1930s, corn puffs were just a byproduct of animal feed processing. When the farmers would clean their extruders by pouring in moist corn, puffs would pop out the other end. And sure, this was the corn that would normally be fed to livestock, but there was something about that shape, that crispy crunch, that you knew was gonna be a hit. It was the perfect snack. So you started to experiment with corn puffs in your test kitchen. You sprinkled them with some dried cheese powder, a little salt, and boom. You created the original Cheeto, the cheesy snack that goes crunch.
I most heartily recommend Cheetos, cheese-flavored puffs. They have real cheese flavor and come in two kinds of crunches, baked to a delicate crunch and quick fried to a crackly crunch. Cheetos, cheese that goes crunch.
And it worked. Your Cheetos were an enormous hit. Seriously, people went wild over them. They were so popular that you couldn't even keep up with the orders. And this is when you decided to make a life-changing deal with Herman Lay, owner of the Lay's Potato Chip Company. With Herman's marketing know-how and your dangerously cheesy recipe, your Cheetos would soon take over the world.
Flamin' hot Cheetos, anyone?
Flamin' hot Cheetos, so hot, careful where you eat them. Cheetos, flamin' hot snack.
Dangerously hot.
So, you've been slinging Cheetos for a few decades now, and things have been really heating up. The world has fallen head over heels for Cheetos. And because these crunchy, cheesy bits were so popular, these other no-good companies started to copy you. Those devils. Other brands of Cheesy Puffs were showing up on grocery store shelves. And obviously, this was a giant problem. See, the 1980s were the golden age of processed junk food. New innovative junk food concoctions were cropping up left and right, and it was a cutthroat business. Whenever something exploded in popularity, there would always be some sort of fight. There was the Coke versus Pepsi war, the Pizza Hut versus Domino's war, and, unluckily for you, it was the Frito-Lay versus Eagle Snacks war. Eagle Snacks was owned by Anheuser-Busch, the beer giant, and their Eagle Snacks made potato chips, pretzel mix, and cheese puffs. Pretty much everything you, Frito-Lay, were making. And you started to notice that Eagle Snacks was eating up all your precious sales. Yeah, this battle needs to end. So what did you do? You and your team scoured every gas station and grocery store for the top-selling snack foods. You found out that in Chicago and Detroit, everyone was going crazy for these spicy chips that regional competitors were making. These spicy varieties of chips would just blow off the shelf, and you wanted in. This could be your edge to finally crush those schmucks over at Eagle Snacks. And so, you headed into the lab, and you gave your food scientists a simple but clear task. Take our best-selling Cheetos and use everything at your disposal to make us the most addictive spicy chip possible. The mission was clear, and so your food scientists went into overdrive.
There's no fire here. Just flaming hot Cheetos. Here, try one, if you can handle it. Flaming hot Cheetos, deliciously hot, dangerously cheesy.
Back in the day, Cheetos were made from real ingredients. Corn, cheese, whey, maybe a little bit of salt. It was a simple time, an innocent time. But this was war. And plain corn puffs with a bit of cheese dusted on aren't gonna be addictive enough to win this war. We gotta use the billions of dollars at our disposal to optimize the Cheeto for maximum addiction. First, you took one of your perfectly crisp corn twists and tested it with a texturometer, just to make sure that when a kid bites into a flamin' hot Cheeto, it creates the most satisfying crunch possible. Next, we gotta mix in some more creative ingredients. Take the cheese dust, for example. Instead of just using real cheese like a sucker, you'll mix in something called maltodextrin, a sugar alternative made from corn that is twice as sugary as table sugar. You need this maltodextrin to make the cheese powder stick, but also to give your Cheeto that signature sweet, salty taste that'll keep kids coming back for more. Another important thing in food science is the importance of color. Think about it. Our primitive brains are wired to immediately recognize that bright colors equals fresh food, that it equals higher quality food. Because who wants to eat an old, dull, rotten orange? That's why color is actually the most important sense we have when it comes to choosing what food we buy and eat. Visuals have priority. They will presuppose the taste and mouthfeel of the food we want to taste. Visual expectations have a great influence on how we taste food. Just look at these two cereals. The left one is a typical ultra-processed cereal with synthetic colors, and the right one uses more natural ingredients. And yet, which one looks more attractive? Which one looks scrumptious? And most importantly, which one do you think gets more sales? That is why the next step in our pursuit of spicy snacks domination is to add in some red food dye. A nice bright red color is going to signal to their minds that they're hungry, even if they're not.
Oh my god, I can't stop eating this thing!
Now red, on the other hand, tends to draw you in. It tends to excite you, increase your heart rate. And yellow kind of has the same effect. It also increases your metabolism. So red and yellow combined help kickstart your metabolism, also increasing your hunger.
But we're not just going to use any natural red food dye like the ones made from beetroots that they use in Europe. No. We got to use something called red dye number 40. Ah, yes. Because when the ingredient has a number assigned to it, you know it's going to be good. Red 40 is the stuff that makes those bright red preserved maraschino cherries red. Red 40 also happens to cause hyperactivity, ADHD, and aggressive behavior in children. And oh, would you look at that? Kids with ADHD happen to consume ultra-processed foods much more. But who cares? This is actually a good thing. Because the more wild the kids are, the more they'll crave and want Flamin' Hot Cheetos. It goes with the branding.
My substitute teacher!
Class?
Yes, sir, Cheetos.
It's geometry time. Ooh, snackometry time. New Twisted Cheetos snacks. Now, field trip time. Twisted field trip, that is. Deliciously twisted, dangerously cheesy.
Hey, hon, how was your day? Twisted.
Oh, and we can't forget the most powerful ingredient of all. The chemical that will make Flamin' Hot Cheetos so addictive that some schools will ban it because it creates a brain response similar to what is seen in individuals who are addicted to illicit substances. A little something called MSG. MSG is a godsend. MSG is the reason why kids can eat full bags of Flamin' Hot Cheetos in one sitting. It's because the MSG literally blocks them from feeling full. MSG is so effective at this that scientists will even purposefully feed their lab rats MSG when they want to fatten them up for experiments. And one study showed that subjects who ate MSG were 2.75 times more likely to become overweight than those who didn't eat it. But come on, the fatter and more addicted the kids become, the more they'll keep wobbling back for more. Lunch money in hand. And so, into the bowl the MSG goes. But don't go anywhere yet, because we still need one final ingredient.
A final ingredient. The final ingredient.
The final ingredient that will add the hot in hot Cheetos. We're talking, of course, about that mouth-watering, finger-licking spice powder. See, spicy foods have a very special property. They're stimulating. If you live a boring life, spicy foods can literally spice it up. That's because spiciness has a direct effect on brain chemistry. It releases endorphins and dopamine, creating a euphoria similar to a runner's high. If you can concoct the perfect burning heat to trigger the kids' dopamine the same way roller coasters and horror movies do, you will have a winner. But obviously, spiciness is a fine line. Too spicy, it will scare kids away. Not spicy enough, and it won't be as stimulating and addictive. And so you enlisted the help of the king of spices, McCormick Spices. You got McCormick to use their expertise to manufacture your eye-watering flamin' hot spice mix. And voila, your recipe is complete. And it was ready to be unleashed onto the public. By 1990, Flamin' Hot Cheetos were officially on grocery store shelves. And just as you planned, it spread like wildfire. And before you know it, Flamin' Hot Cheetos started slowly becoming a cultural phenomenon, and you were willing to do anything to keep this engine running.
Burns good or burns bad? It burns good.
Oh! Oh, we did! Yeah!
Of course we did!
It's the year 2000 and Flamin' Hot Cheetos is officially a household name.
Flamin' Hot Cheeto.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Seriously, even your grandma knew that Flamin' Hot Cheetos were pretty much the it snack of the century. But in order to make sure you squeezed every last penny from the Flamin' Hot's craze, you needed to keep feeding the beast. You needed to keep Flamin' Hots in the public eye. And this is when an unexpected miracle happened.
That's me, the Mero Mr. Richard Montañez. I'm the guy who helped bring the world the most popular snack it's ever seen.
Richard Montañez, an ex-employee of Frito-Lay, started going around telling people that he invented Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Everything I did, we did it in my kitchen. And I have to remind people, you know, the people that are speaking against the story, they weren't in the kitchen with me. And I cannot and I will not ever allow anyone to dictate to me what I did or what I didn't do.
And even though this was a total lie and completely discounts the hard work of everyone who created them in the 80s, you, Frito-Lay, saw this giant white lie as a golden opportunity. It was the perfect American success story. A poor immigrant janitor at Frito-Lay's Rancho Cucamonga plant magically dreamt up a chile-covered Cheeto and believed in himself enough to call up the chief executive to pitch his spicy idea. Corporate backstabbers tried to sabotage Montañez for stepping out of line, but he out-hustled them, driven by a hunger to succeed. Flamin' Hots became a runaway hit, and Montañez rose through the ranks and became an icon. It was a hero's journey for the ages that would make for some great PR for Frito-Lay. And so, you gave permission to Eva Longoria to produce a movie about this Montañez guy inventing Flamin' Hots, even though, may we remind you, it was a total and utter lie.
You tracked down former employees at Frito-Lay, and they tell you that Richard Montañez did not invent the Flaming Hot Cheetos?
That's right, yeah. I talked to about 20 people who worked at Frito-Lay back in the early 90s, late 80s when this product was first being developed. And yeah, it does not seem like the timeline that Mr. Montañez lays out.
What was Richard Montañez's role?
Well, Richard's role in the Flamin' Hot Cheetos development is kind of unclear. I mean, Frito-Lay told us that there was none originally, And then they changed their statement over time to say that he was integral to the marketing and development of this product.
Richard Montañez did suggest flavor ideas like chili lime Fritos, but he did not invent Flamin' Hot Cheetos. He conveniently added Flamin' Hots into his story because Flamin' Hots just so happened to be Frito-Lay's most globally loved snack at the time. And your past employees who really did invent Flamin' Hot Cheetos tried to get the Frito-Lay legal department to bring Montañez to court, but the legal team conveniently dropped the case. Wonder why. Montañez is now a millionaire from all his speaking engagements and book deals, but that's nothing compared to the billions you'll be making from this huge PR stunt. If pushing a giant lie onto the public is what it takes to keep Flamin' Hots an addictive cultural phenomenon, that's exactly what you're gonna do. While behind the scenes, horror stories start trickling in of kids abusing your innocent little snack.
We've all heard about how smoking is bad for your health, and so is not getting enough sleep. But what about spicy snacks? We have a warning tonight about those flamin' varieties of so many snack foods.
Right here in Central Texas, these fiery favorites are sending dozens of kids to the emergency room.
The problem with Flamin' Hot Cheetos being this chemically addictive is that mindlessly eating huge amounts of spicy snacks could actually be life-threatening. Why? Spicy foods physically alter the pH of your stomach. So the more you munch down on those delicious Flamin' Hot Cheetos, the more acidic your stomach acid becomes. And the more acidic it gets, the more it will damage your stomach lining. This huge amount of spice can literally form wounds inside of your stomach, also known as stomach ulcers. And guess what? These ulcers can cause intense stomach pain, vomiting. They can even cause blood to show up in your vomit or feces. But you'll probably never know for sure if it's blood or the red food dye. So no one's been tracing these stomach issues back to Flamin' Hot Cheetos. If left untreated, these stomach ulcers can even become cancerous. One doctor said that he sees around 100 kids per month coming into the emergency room because of spicy snacks. And one 17-year-old girl from Tennessee had to get her gallbladder removed after eating 4 big bags of Flamin' Hot snacks in 1 week. She never had any gallbladder issues prior.
Time I go out, bring me back some hot toddies, bring me back some hot chips, and me, stupid, because I want to make her happy, I brought them back, and she was eating big bags, taking them to school with her.
We do see tons of gastritis and ulcer-related stuff to it, so.
Related to these kind of snacks?
Absolutely.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos are literally eroding the stomach and intestines of young children. But aside from these extreme cases, ultra-processed snacks like Hot Cheetos are just slowly ruining the lives of those that consume them. Obesity, ADHD, and everything in between. Fast forward to today, and kids are still losing their minds over Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And sure, there's been some changes over the years. In 2021, Chester the Cheetah was banned from Cheetos bags in Mexico because of how obsessed kids were getting over Cheetos.
In Mexico, they actually were like, no, you're not allowed to have mascots because children will be drawn to it.
Exactly.
And will make them unhealthy. And Mexico was like, no queremos eso.
But Frito-Lay still pushes Chester on their social media accounts. Schools banned Flamin' Hot Cheetos from being sold in cafeterias and vending machines because of how they affected the kids' behavior. But all Frito-Lay did was release the same old Cheeto with less fat and added whole grains. The ingredients are still literally the exact same, but the schools are still being fooled nonetheless. But if you thought human processed foods were bad, wait until you hear about how disturbing dog food is, where there aren't strict laws. Where if you kill someone's dog thanks to your shoddy dog food, no one's gonna sue you. Because for the cost of a lawyer, people are just better off buying a new dog. And we expose it all in our documentary on dog food that you can watch right now by clicking the card on the screen. If you love your dog like we do, this is a must-watch. And it was really heartbreaking for us to learn the terrible stuff we've been fooled into feeding our dogs for years. Click on the card on the screen to watch now.